So let's say and then street name. We're gonna skip this part. City, city, put Lagos. Province, put Lagos. Postal code. Country, Nigeria. Tech support. Dates. Okay. So, and then they go on to the information about the beneficiary's parents. Put in the dad, birthday, he's a male, obviously. We're gonna just stick to Nigeria since it makes the most sense. It still leaves it vague. And then we're gonna move on to the mom. Information about her birthday. And then the female, country of birth, Nigeria. She's also in Lagos, and then the country is Nigeria. There we go. Has your beneficiary ever been previously married? We put no in this case because he hasn't, but if it is yes, then put in the previous name of the spouse. Has your beneficiary ever been in the United States? If he or she has, select yes. If not, we put no. So my fiance has never been, so I select no, but yes, you can just select that. If they are currently in the US, then write when or why they entered, basically. So if they came on a visiting visa, just put visitor. If they're here on a student, put student. And then they should have gotten the I-94 arrival departure record number. That's something that you can find online if they do have that. We're going to skip all this because it doesn't apply to us. But if you do need help on it, look on the further instructions. It does give a little bit more clarification. So if your fiance does have children, then select yes and then put in their information. If you do need more space, go to the additional information part and part 8 and write in their name and all this information. We're going to select no because my fiance doesn't have children. Address in the US where your beneficiary intends to live. So I'm going to put in the same address. I'm going to skip this part again, the city, the state, and then the zip code. And then phone number. And then your beneficiary's physical address abroad. So we're going to put the same address. And skip that part. City, we'll put Lagos. Province, Lagos. Postal code 12345. Country, Nigeria. And then phone number will also be. You guys probably caught that. All right. So if your beneficiary's country does have a different alphabet from like Roman alphabet, like such as Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, Russian, Ukrainian, you will have to get that information from them. So you can include their name in their native alphabet. So we do have Roman alphabet in Nigeria, so we are going to skip that. All right. 51. Is your fiance related to you? no. So we're going to say no. If you select an A, beneficiary is my spouse, then you are applying for the wrong type of visa. So make sure you guys do not mark that. If this information does apply to you, fill out the rest. Have you and your fiance met in person during the 2 years immediately before filing this petition? Select yes. So they're not asking how long you guys have been together. They want to know if you have met within the 2 years, just to see proof of ongoing relationship. So select yes. And then they said if you answered yes, then describe the circumstances of your in-person meeting in item number 54 and attach the evidence to demonstrate that you were in each other's physical presence during the required 2-year period. So over here, I'm going to say see attachment. So if you did answer no, there must be reasons behind why you haven't met within 2 years. And most of the time it's due to like cultural or religious purposes. So you'll have to explain that if that's the case. But it's a little bit harder to prove that, because if you haven't met, then you should meet. You have to meet. Like, you're not going to get approved if you haven't met, unless they actually investigate like your religious reasons or cultural reasons behind why you haven't met. But it's really difficult to prove that. So they did not ask how you guys met. So for us, we did not include how we met, like we met on this website or this dating site or whatnot, or on Facebook, because sometimes they will require you to put in more information, such as the terms of the site, or to prove if your dating site is from an international marriage broker. So basically, in this template, they put that they met on vacation in Australia, and that they spent time with the parents and so forth. For us, I did write on a separate piece of paper that I went to Nigeria to go see him on this date, and we did this and we did that, like what we did while we were there. So I think it's best to just leave it as, answer their question and just move forward from there. So if you did meet your beneficiary through the services of an IMB, the international marriage broker, then you select yes, and then you put in the information and fill out the rest of this form. So going to number 62A, it says your beneficiary will apply for a visa abroad at the U.S. Embassy or U.S. Consulate at, and you put in where their embassy is going to be. So his is going to be in Lagos, and it's in Nigeria. All right, so this part is about you. For part 3, about criminal information. So I have not committed any crimes, so I am going to put no for all of these. They do ask for domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse. Put no if it doesn't apply to you. And if you have, please do not hide it. Do not hide it. Put yes, because they know everything. They can always dig this up no matter what. I have heard of cases where I heard about one guy who got rejected right when he got to his interview stage because he completely forgot to include that he has been arrested for one of these crimes. He said that it was even sealed or expunged or cleared. So you see over here, it was cleared from the records completely, and he committed it way back in the 90s, and he couldn't even remember about it. And they were able to dig that up. So no matter what, you have to include all that stuff. And if you have then committed one of these crimes, then explain why. You have to mark one of these. So I'm going to say no for all of these since it does not apply to me. And then if you are a multiple filer, then you'll have to request for a multiple filer waiver. And there's more instructions in the specific instructions PDF if you take a look at that. So since I am not a multiple filer, I'm going to put non-applicable. But if you are, then you're going to have to mark one of these and also request for a multiple filer waiver. So for the biographic information, I'm not Hispanic or Latino. I am Black or African American. I'm going to put in my height. I am tall. I'm going to put in my weight. I'm going to put in my eye color, my hair color, and we are wrapping up. We're at the very end. So for the petitioner statement, I said that I can read and understand English, and I have read and understand every question and instruction on this petition and my answer to every question. And if you did have an interpreter, then you can mark this. If you had a preparer, mark that. I do not have any of those, so I skipped that. And then I'm going to put in my phone number. I did, since it's still the same phone number, I included that again, just so I wouldn't have any questions asked. And we'll put in my email. So feel free to email me anytime. Olly and I can always answer. Olly has answers from the beneficiary standpoint. He's really good at answering questions on the other side of the spectrum, and I'm good at answering things for the petition. So always ask us. We share the questions. We share questions to each other all the time that you guys ask, and we're able to help anytime that we, whenever you guys ever need questions, so we can always help. So let's move forward to the petitioner signature. So once we print it out, we're going to sign it and date it. So I'll put in today's date. And make sure you sign it. That is a reason why a lot of people get RFEs. They forget to sign it, and then they get RFEs, which is requests for more or requests for evidence. And a lot of people get RFEs for not signing or from missing a part, like forgetting to mark something. And you don't want that. So make sure you go over your application a million times. Go over it 5 times if you have to, because if you do get RFEs, it kind of slows your case down a little bit. So it's best to avoid that. Since we did not have an interpreter, I'm going to skip this part. We're going to skip the interpreter's mailing address, interpreter's contact information, and even the preparer. It's the same thing. If you do have that, make sure you include that. If you don't, skip it. And that's basically all there is to it. The additional information section, you can just fill in your information again and then put in the page number of the parts that you needed to include, whether it's having more than, the 2 kids, or if you have, if you put C attachment, or if you want to explain a little bit more about meeting your fiance in person. Since I did put that it was in a different document, I did put to see the attachment. And on the attachment that I typed up on Microsoft Word, I put the page number. I think it was I don't even remember, like page 8, part number 3, item number 54, or something like that. So I put that at the top, and then I wrote the paragraph of how we met in person. So that's basically all there is to it. If you guys do have any questions, again, feel free to message us, email us, comment below, ask anything that you need help with, and we will do the best we can to answer your questions. We are always happy to help. And please subscribe. Please share this video with others if you guys have other people, if you know other people who are going through the same thing. We are always happy to help. All right. Thanks very much for watching, and see you guys next time.